Going to work through some more worked examples, this time not starting with triangles. Again, we're only going to go through the process. You need to know the rules before you start. And the process is the same with triangles. We need to know, is there an angle, was it a side, in which case we use the sine rule, otherwise we use the cosine rule, and we often need to do it in multiple steps. The first thing though we have to do is set up a system with a triangle with 3 known pieces of information. So as a typical quadrilateral, we're asked to find the value of x. We need a triangle with 3 pieces of information, and we stick a diagonal across there. We find that the bottom triangle doesn't have that. So we can't solve for x from the bottom triangle. We have to move to the top triangle and work our way across. So top triangle, we have no angle side pair. The only angle gives an unknown side, so we can't use the sine rule. We have to use the cosine rule, 2 sides in an angle, which gives us the side opposite, which is going to be A. Stick our values in, and we find that A is 23.548. Now that we've done that, we find that the bottom triangle now has sufficient pieces of information. 1, 2, 3 sides, we can solve it. So we will. No side angle pair, so we're going to use the cos rule. And I want this angle at the bottom here, so that's going to be my angle A. Label the side opposite A, the other two B or C. And we calculate the value of the angle x, 112.1 degrees. That was a reasonably simple case. Let's go on and try a merit one. So, we have a quadrilateral, looks extremely similar to the situation before, but it works out very different indeed. We have to find the value of the angle P. But if we divide the quadrilateral this way, we are left with 2 pieces of information and 2 pieces of information, and we have no triangle with enough to work on. 105 is not halved. We basically lose the value of either side of that. So we have to divide it the other way, even though that divides P in half. 3 pieces of information, we have to do it that way. Now, we've divided P into 2 pieces, not halves, and we're going to have to call each side of them something, and we're going to work via those. Alright, so let's work our way across to Q, solving the bottom triangle. 3 pieces of information, but no side angle pair. So we have to use the cosine rule, and we have an angle and the 2 sides between them. We have no choice but to find this length here. We can't get to Q directly. So we use the cosine rule, and there it is. The diagonal is 20.394. At that point, having done that, we can now got a side angle pair. 20.39 is opposite to 105, and we can calculate Q. We have to relabel our triangle. This time the value we're finding is Q, which is A, and we use the sine rule. So the size of angle Q, 16.51. By finding the diagonal, we've also now got enough information to do the top triangle. 1, 2, 3 pieces of information, and so we can solve for R. 3 sides, no angle side pair, so we have no choice but to use the cosine rule. What we're trying to find is R, so we'll call that A, side opposite is A, the others are B and C, and that gives us that R is 77.66 degrees. At that point, we were asked to find P, which is divided into the 2 little bits, Q and R. So we add those together, and P is 94.17 degrees. So the process. You have to work from a triangle with 3 pieces of information. We check there's a side angle pair of known values and we use the sine rule. Otherwise we use the cosine rule. Sometimes we have to remember that 3 angles in a triangle add up to 180, and also sometimes use angles on a line. And merit may involve a lot of steps or solving partial pieces which you have to put together, like that last example.